What if your soul is not just an isolated spark of life, but part of something much greater, something eternal, intelligent, and divine? Imagine that behind your thoughts, emotions, and experiences, there is a deeper intelligence quietly guiding you, a vast spiritual presence that connects you to every other living soul. This is the mystery of the Oversoul. The Oversoul is not a fantasy or just poetic philosophy. It's a concept that echoes across time, through ancient traditions, spiritual texts, and mystical experiences. Today, we'll explore what the Oversoul truly is, where it comes from, how your individual soul is connected to it, and how this sacred connection links you directly to the greater divine intelligence that animates all of existence. So take a breath, open your heart, and allow yourself to remember, you are part of something far beyond what you've been taught to believe. The Oversoul is not a modern invention. It is an ancient concept that has appeared under many names, across many spiritual traditions. But in the West, it was the 19th century philosopher Ralph Waldo Emerson who brought the term into common use. In his famous essay, The Oversoul, he wrote of a universal divine presence, a shared soul from which all individual souls emerge. Emerson believed that each person is not isolated, but intimately connected to every other soul. Through this great spiritual unity, he called it the Oversoul, a force that lives within us, around us, and beyond us, a presence that whispers wisdom, guides our conscience, and transcends religion, dogma, and culture. But long before Emerson, sages and mystics described the same truth. In Hinduism, there is the concept of Paramatman, the Supreme Self, the divine source that lives in all beings. It is the silent witness, the eternal observer behind every soul, a single ocean from which all drops arise. In the mystical teachings of the Kabbalah, the Ein Sof represents the infinite, the unknowable divine from which all souls descend. Each soul is seen as a spark of divine light, temporarily clothed in a body, but still connected to its infinite source. The ancient Gnostics, too, taught that the true self of each person is part of a greater divine consciousness, and that remembering this connection is the path to inner freedom. No matter the culture or language, the message is the same. Your soul is not alone. It is a thread in a vast spiritual tapestry, woven into the divine mind that creates and sustains all things. To understand the Oversoul, picture the ocean. Now imagine a single drop of water lifted from its depths. That drop is your individual soul, unique, radiant, alive. But it is still water, still made of the ocean, and destined to return to it. The Oversoul is the ocean. It holds all souls within it. It births them, nourishes them, and calls them back home. To understand how your soul is connected to the Oversoul, we must first look within, at the layers that make up your spiritual being. You are not just a body. You never were. You are a multi-dimensional being, existing on many levels at once. At the outermost layer is the physical body, the vessel you walk in, the senses you rely on. It allows you to move through the material world. Deeper than that lies your emotional body, where feelings rise and fall like waves. This is where you process joy, grief, love, anger, the energy of experience. Next is your mental body, the realm of thoughts, ideas, memory, and identity. This is where your mind lives, your stories, beliefs, and logic. But beneath all of these, there is something more subtle, your spiritual essence, often called the higher self. The higher self is like a compass, a timeless version of you that sees farther, knows deeper, and loves without fear. It is still individual, but it is rooted in something even greater, and that greater field is the Oversoul. The Oversoul is not limited to a single incarnation or personality. It holds the wisdom of every life your soul has ever lived, and every potential your soul could ever express. It's like the root of a tree, and each individual life, each incarnation is a branch. You, as you are now, are one branch. But the root, the Oversoul, feeds them all. Some mystics describe this as a spiritual architecture, where Oversoul is the central sun, and each soul is a ray of light extending from it. Others see it as a great field of consciousness, with your soul being one point in that vast matrix, connected to all others through a web of divine energy. When you feel moments of deep intuition, when you sense guidance from beyond thought, you are touching the Oversoul. You are tuning into the source of your own being. You are never separate from it. But in the noise of daily life, we forget. And remembering this connection, that's where the journey truly begins. Have you ever felt that certain events in your life were not random? That somehow there was a purpose, a deeper meaning behind the timing, the people, even the challenges? This is how the Oversoul works. It is not a distant deity watching from above. It is your soul's deeper self, the part of you that exists beyond time and space. And from that higher vantage point, it gently shapes the course of your life. Before your birth, the Oversoul, with full love and wisdom, helps design your soul's journey. It does not force outcomes, but it sets the stage for growth. It selects certain life lessons, relationships, and turning points, not as punishments or rewards, but as opportunities for evolution. This is where the idea of soul contracts comes in. Agreements made between souls before incarnation, to help each other learn, to mirror one another, to challenge or support. Some people enter your life to awaken your compassion. Others test your patience or boundaries. But behind every experience, the Oversoul is present, not interfering, but witnessing, offering quiet guidance. Sometimes we feel this guidance as intuition, a sense that something is right or wrong without logical reason. Other times it arrives through synchronicities, those uncanny moments where everything lines up in just the right way. You might meet someone at the exact moment you needed them, or lose something only to discover what truly matters. These are not coincidences. They are the fingerprints of the Oversoul, helping you stay on your path, nudging you toward greater awareness. Even our most difficult experiences, illness, loss, failure, can be viewed through the eyes of the Oversoul as part of a much larger unfolding, not as punishment, but as sacred lessons carved into time. In this way, the Oversoul is like a wise parent, loving you unconditionally, allowing you to explore freely, but always keeping the thread of connection alive. When we begin to live from that awareness, to trust the journey, even when it doesn't make sense, we begin to align with the higher rhythm of our own soul's purpose. And in that alignment, life transforms. So if the Oversoul holds the wisdom of your many lifetimes, if it watches and gently guides the evolution of your soul, what then is it connected to? The answer is profound and beautiful. The Oversoul is not the final source. It is a bridge, a luminous channel between the human soul and what many call the divine, God, the source, the infinite mind, the absolute. This greater intelligence is not a being sitting in judgment. It is the living presence that animates all of creation, within every atom, every star, every heartbeat. The Oversoul is the part of you that is always in communion with that divine intelligence. It listens to it, receives from it, and reflects it down into your human awareness. Through intuition, dreams, insight, and inspiration, it is your personal thread to the infinite fabric of being. When you meditate, pray, or enter states of deep inner stillness, you are not just calming your mind, you are shifting your awareness closer to the Oversoul, and through it into contact with the divine itself. Many people describe mystical experiences, a feeling of oneness with all life, a sense that time disappears, that love becomes everything. These are glimpses of the Oversoul aligning with divine intelligence, moments when the veil thins and we remember who we truly are. The ancient mystics spoke of this union as the highest goal of the soul, not just to be good, but to remember, to reunite with the Source, consciously, fully, lovingly. The Oversoul is your guide in this process. It's the divine whisper behind your thoughts, the calm presence when your world falls apart, the warmth that tells you, even when you're lost, that you are still held, still seen, still known. When you cultivate a relationship with the Oversoul, you are not only growing as a soul, you are opening a channel for divine intelligence to express itself through you. And that is when life becomes a sacred path, and every moment, even the ordinary ones, begins to glow with meaning. As you begin to awaken to the presence of the Oversoul, subtle changes unfold within you. These signs may be quiet, but they are powerful. You may notice your intuition becomes stronger, as if you're guided by an invisible thread, pulling you toward the right choice, the right moment, the right person. You begin to feel a deep inner calm, not because life is perfect, but because something within you knows you're not alone. You trust the process more. You resist less. Thoughts and insights come to you, not from study or analysis, but as if they arise from nowhere. Wisdom that isn't yours, yet it feels entirely true. That's the Oversoul speaking softly through your awareness. Sometimes you might feel a loving presence around you, a sense that something is gently guiding you. Not controlling, not demanding, just there, watching with infinite patience. This guidance may also show up in your dreams. You may receive messages, symbols, even voices that seem to carry a truth deeper than logic. These are not just dreams. They are communications from the Oversoul, using the language of the soul to reach you. You may begin to see synchronicities, patterns and meaningful coincidences that feel too perfect to be chance. It's as if the universe is confirming your path, and slowly the feeling grows, that your life is not random, that your journey has purpose, that beneath every moment there is an intelligent love flowing through everything. These are the signs, not loud, not dramatic, but unmistakable once you begin to listen. The Oversoul doesn't shout, it whispers. And as you quiet the noise of the outer world, you begin to hear it more clearly. The voice of your true self, the voice of eternity. The Oversoul is always there. It doesn't come and go, but your awareness of it, that's what shifts. And the more you nurture that connection, the more clearly its presence will shine through your life. So how can you strengthen that sacred bond? Begin with stillness. In a world that never stops moving, choosing to pause, to breathe, to listen, is a radical act of remembrance. Through meditation, you quiet the noise of the mind and open space for the Oversoul to speak. There's no need to force anything, just sit, breathe, and be present. You can also set a clear intention, a simple inward request like, "Show me the truth of who I am," or "Let me feel the Oversoul within me." Intention opens the door. The Oversoul will answer. Prayer is another powerful key. Not prayer as pleading, but as communion. A loving conversation with the divine. Speak from your heart, then listen. Purity of heart and mind also matters. Not perfection, but awareness. When your thoughts, actions, and emotions are aligned with love, you become a clearer vessel for Oversoul's light to move through. Service to others is one of the fastest ways to reconnect. Why? Because the Oversoul is not just in you, it is in everyone. And when you love, uplift, or help another soul, you activate that shared spiritual field. Mindful presence is also a practice, being here, now. Not lost in yesterday or tomorrow, but feeling the sacredness of this moment. That's where the Oversoul meets you. And finally, use the tools that speak to your soul. visualization, breathwork, mantras, or sacred sounds. Each of these can help you tune your frequency and call in the presence of your higher self. You don't need to be a monk or mystic, you just need to be sincere. The Oversoul doesn't require perfection, it responds to honesty, humility, and love. With each step you take toward it, you'll find it has already taken many steps toward you. You are not just a name, a body, a story. You are a soul, and your soul is part of something far greater than you've ever been told. The Oversoul is not an abstract idea. It is the living truth behind your being, your origin, your guide, your higher self, extended into eternity. Through every moment, through every challenge, it has walked with you, silently, patiently, waiting for the day you would remember who you are. You are not alone, you never were. You are connected to the source itself, through the Oversoul, through love, through light. And when you open your heart to that truth, life begins to change. You trust more, you resist less. You feel the flow of something deeper carrying you forward. So when you wake in the morning, or pause in the middle of the day, or lie awake at night and wonder why you're here, know this: you are here to grow, you are here to remember, and most of all, you are here to return to the Oversoul, to the divine, to yourself, because no matter how far you've wandered, the path home has always been within you.